Okay, let's do the same thing which we have done in the session 1. Here we are going to use Visual Studio Code instead of IntelliJ. And instead of using the MongoDB Compass, let's see how we can do the same thing within the site. Okay, let's do that one. So first of all, we need to go to start.spring.io. Through that, we are going to create the Spring Boot application. So here, this is the one you will see once you go to the start.spring.io. And here you need to give this one as the project, that means Maven. Maven means actually the build tool, build automation tool. And here you need to choose the language. So here we are using Java and here the Spring Boot version. And here, these are the things you need to give as metadata. You can give a group name, artifact name, description, and those kind of things. So let's give some names. So here I'm going to give the group name as com.icbt. So once you give this one, this will give you in your project package name as com.icbt and so on. And for the artifact, let's give as movies, since we are going to create a movie application. And here you can go through with this movie project for Spring Boot. And here the things, packaging and the Java. And like in the previous, you need to add dependencies. So the Lombok you need to add. Then you need to add Spring Web. And you need to add Spring Data, MongoDB. And you need to add Spring Boot DevTools. Right? So these are the dependencies you need to add. So throughout the document I have shared, you can go through with this. What are the dependencies we are going to add and what is the purpose of it? Okay, so these are the dependencies, what we need in Spring Boot application, and click on the generate. It will generate a zip file. Here it is. We have a zip file in the download folder. I'm going to copy that folder and paste in the advanced programming. So you can stay with your downloads as well. So I'm going to unzip this. And here within the folder, we have these things, right? And the other thing, on the other hand, you need to go to the MongoDB database and you need to log into the MongoDB account. So I hope you already signed up to the MongoDB Atlas. You need to sign in. And the next thing is you need to create a project. So here you have the option called new project. So here let's give a project name. Let's say movie API. And you don't need to give add tags or anything. So just simply go ahead with the next one. And for here also you don't need to give the members and permissions. You can just go ahead with the create project. So in the project, here it is. So this is the overview of our project. So within that, go to the database. So now we are going to create a database. That means actually we are going to add a deployment here. So let's go ahead with the build a database. And here choose this M0 free one, the storage 512. This is the RAM shared, and the CPU also shared. Here the provider you can give as AWS service provider. Then the region, the closest region is the Mumbai. And the name you can give whatever you want there. You can customize the name, right? So if you see the advanced configuration, you might see a cluster tier, those kind of things. Okay, so mainly you have to choose this M0 free version and create. Now we are going to create the cluster. So here for the security, we need to give the username and the password. So here it suggests you a username with your email address. So here this is my username, and you can go ahead with the password. So it you can customize the password, or else you can go ahead with the auto-generated secure password. So make sure to copy the password, and you need to save it somewhere else. So here I'm going to save it here, and you can create the user. Go ahead with the create user. Then the next thing is you need to add entries to the IP access list. So here you have the current IP address with you, so you can use your current IP address. So that means that is for the security. You can use current IP address. That means use one. That means only you're giving the access to your IP address. But here I'm going to give 0.0.0.0/0. That means I'm going to allow access from anywhere. So here I'm giving a description as well. So let's add the entry. Here it is, right? Then finish and close. Can go ahead with the overview. So now we have created the cluster. So the cluster 0. So the next thing is we need to connect this one. So to connect this, you can go ahead with the connect button. Here we have several options where we can connect the project. So here you can use drivers or a compass. In the earlier session, we have learned how we connect the database through the MongoDB Compass. That is a separate software, separate tool. That is MongoDB's GUI. And you can use shell. And here in this session, we are going to use MongoDB for VS Code. So let's go ahead with this. So these are the steps you need to do. First of all, we need to open our project which have we created, and we have generated the zip file, and we unzip that one as well. We need to open that folder. So here I'm going to open the folder within the Visual Studio Code. Here it is. In the downloads, I have the movies. So open it. So it will look like this, right? Okay, so here you can see the folder structure. So first of all, we have .mvn, that means Maven package, Maven folder. So you can ignore it in here. That is our build automation tool. And the next folder is the SRC, that is for source. And here we have target and so on. Within the SRC folder, we have main and the test. Within the main, we have Java and the resources. In the Java and our package, we have the movies application.java. So that is our application class. Okay. So if we see the that class, you will see this code. So first one is the declaring the package, and here we have some imports, right? So this one, then here we have, yeah, let's see this one. This is Spring application class. So it actually contain the run method. So here you can see Spring application dot run. So using this import, we are going to use here the run method. Here we are passing the application class here and the argument, command line arguments here as the parameters. So here that is Spring application. So the next one for the Spring Boot application, that is an annotation here. You can see Spring Boot application. For this annotation, we need this package to import. And this is the annotation in Java. So using this, we are letting the compiler to know about what is the class does. So that is this annotation, right? And yeah, let's go ahead with the run button and see. So you can use this one as well, run Java, or else you can go ahead with this one, run and debug, or else you can go ahead with right click on it and run Java as well. So here I'm going to use this one. You can close this as well. Simply run it. Here you need to select the debugger. Here's Java. Here it is. So in here, you can see Tomcat started on the port 8080. So sometimes we will get an error called port in use. That means this port 8080 is in use. If we are getting error like that, so see here I'm not getting that error, but sometimes you might get that error because some application use, some servers use this port called 8080 or else whatever. So servers use ports, so maybe 8080 used in another service. So because of that, you might get that error. So if you are getting that error, you need to do something. So stop the running. So I will show you how to do that. I'm not getting that error, but you might get that error. So if you're getting that error, you need to go to the resources folder and you have the application.properties. So within that, you need to give server.port equal to, you can give a port here. That means through this line, we are changing the port in the project, right? So since I'm not getting that error, I'm going to delete it. I'm not going to give that, okay? And you can simply save it and run it. So, but in here, I'm getting an exception opening socket, right? So here actually, we gave the dependency, yeah, let me show it to you. Here, we have given some dependency. So in here, Spring Data, MongoDB. So now we have given that dependency, but we didn't use that yet because just we run the project. So because of that dependencies, we are getting that exception. So let's do something for that as well. In here, you have the dependency called Spring Boot Starter Data MongoDB. So you need to comment this one for a while. So later we can uncomment it and run it. At this moment, we are going to comment it and let's run it. This is actually this exception we are getting because we didn't specify the MongoDB URL, the cluster, username, password. We didn't do anything like that. That's why we are getting. So within the form XML file, you have the dependency called Spring Boot Starter Data MongoDB. You have to comment it. So to comment the whole thing, you can select the dependency and you can use control plus slash or command slash. If it is a Mac, command slash. If it is a Windows, control slash. Right? You can go ahead with the commenting. Then you have to reload this one. So you can right click on it and reload the project, or else here you can right click on it and you can reload the project, right? First you need to do that. Save it. Save it and reload it. Okay. Yes. Then let's run it and see. You have to close all the things. And here, let's run it. Java debugger. You will see now we are not getting that exception. The Tomcat started down the port 8080 and it's running perfectly, right? Okay, so let's go ahead with the database connection. So let's see here, once we are connecting the MongoDB deployment. So for the VS Code, first thing is we need to install MongoDB for VS Code. So first of all, you have to go to the VS Code and open extensions and go ahead with the MongoDB for VS Code. You have to install that one first. Here in the extension, you have to type MongoDB for VS Code. You have to install it. I already installed that one. The next thing, you have to open the command palette. So you can go with the View option and command palette. And you have to search MongoDB Connect and select on the Connect with Connection string. Let's do that. So in the View command palette, and here you have the option called MongoDB Connect with the connection string. So here you have to give this URL, here the connection string. So you have to copy this one and paste in here. And you have to give your password, which you copied earlier, in here instead of that. So I'm going to give my password here, like this, and press enter. Then you can see MongoDB connection successful, right? You're getting that message. So if you see this MongoDB icon, you will see here, this is my database. It connected, right? Yeah, that's for the connection part and the setup in the Spring Boot project using VS Code and the site. Okay, thank you.